Hello, and happy Saturday. What the hell was that? Happy Saturday, and welcome back to another episode of Astrology After Dark. Hope you guys had a beautiful day today. Um, you probably noticed I don't sound the best. I don't really feel that good. I'm still not feeling good. But I did want to go ahead and come on. Tonight, I'm going to talk about Chiron. What is Chiron, and how does Chiron affect your career? Okay. And so, if you're new to me, if you are new to the channel or my page, my name is Katrice. I am the Natal Chart Navigator, and I help open-minded individuals to find their best career, job, or business using the energies they were born with via their natal chart. And so I hope you guys can hear me. Turn it off. Okay. And so, hold on, it's kind of hot. Let me take my jacket off. Like 1 minute I'm hot, 1 minute I'm cold. Really sucks, but it is what it is. All right. So let's jump into it. Um, let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay. So Chiron. Okay. Chiron is what's called the wounded healer. Okay. And so it's astrology. It's Greek mythology. Okay. And so all of the planets they have a tie-in to Greek or Roman mythology when it comes to astrology. Okay. And so Chiron is the wounded healer. Okay. And so basically everybody is born with a wound. Okay. You come into this world with a wound when you are born. Okay. And so it just depends upon where um Chiron is at astrologically when you're born. Um, so meaning what sign it's in, and then depending upon what sign that falls in your chart is where your wound will be. Okay. And so tonight I'm going to show you um, if you have those wounds in the second, the sixth, or the 10th house, how they may manifest in your life. Okay. Now, they're different. There can be multiple variations depending upon the sign. And so I'm not going to go knee deep into the sign and all of that. I'm just going to show you a few charts so that you can see exactly what it is and how, give you an idea of how it may manifest and how it may stop you from making the money that you want to make or building the career or having the job, that you want to have. Okay. So let me share my screen. I'm going to show you, um, I'm going to do the sixth house first because I already have that chart pulled up. Um, hold on one moment. Here we go. Okay. All right. So this here is, okay, chart. So Chiron in your natal chart, it looks like a key. Okay, right here. This is the glyph for Chiron. Okay, and so what I found is when I'm looking through charts, is that when you start to identify and work on healing your Chiron wound, it's a key. So it's like it unlocks the rest of your chart. Okay. And so until you really start working on this wound, you have you continue to have issues and you continue to struggle in that area of life. And that area of life that you struggle in affects every other area in your life. Okay. So, especially if you have it in the second, the sixth, or the 10th house, because those are the career houses, those are the money making houses. It can also have an effect on the eighth house. I found it has an effect on your money, the eighth house too, because eighth house is other people's money, like your spouse or partnership, like type money. Um, but personally, the second, sixth, or 10th house. Okay. So if you have it in the sixth house is the house of your daily routines, your health. If you are an employer, your employees, how you manage your employees and things of that nature. And so if you have your Chiron wound in this, okay, it means that your hurt manifests itself through your employment and through your could be your community involvement. Okay, it can also manifest in your health or your attitude towards service. Okay, now the sign on the house um, brings in more depth. Okay, Pisces is on this particular sixth house. Pisces is a very spiritual energy, and so there may be some issues when it comes to your spirituality or your intuition when it comes to your work. Okay, um, you may be somebody who you just can't like you could be sick a lot. It could manifest as you're always being sick. It could manifest as not being able to, you're either always sick or you may not be able to get along for whatever reason with your supervisors. You may not be able to actually, uh, you may be somebody who wants to be a community leader, or you want to get out and you want to help those in the community. However, you have a fear of not being accepted, or you have a fear that, you know what I'm saying, you won't know what to do. Like you may feel like your intuition, you just can't figure out what it is that you want to do, or how to best help within the community. You may have an issue with, you may have a boss that's really, really super demanding. And what you haven't, if this was your chart and you had Pisces here, Pisces is an energy that it needs to fluid because it's so, because Pisces is such a intuitive energy. It needs uh it needs a lot of room for fluidity, and it micromanagement is not something that works really well with Pisces energy. And so you may have a boss you may just keep getting bosses that like to micromanage, and so that might be something you can't handle that. Okay, and so it'll constantly show up in something like that. Um, okay, and so now we're gonna go to the. Now we're gonna take a look at the second house. Well, no, I'll go to the 10th house. I'll go to the 10th house since I'm going around the chart. Okay, and so we'll take a look here. at the 10th house here. All right. Okay. All right. So you're looking here, if you can see here, the 10th house here. 10th house here. 10th house is the house of career. This is the actual house of your career, your public persona, what it is that you put out when you're talking about your legacy. And what you're wanting to leave your, be known for here on in the world. That's here in the 10th house. Okay. This house also represents the house of, um, they say the father, but I look at it as the more dominant parent. In some households, the mother was the more dominant parent. And then fourth house is the house of the more motherly, the more nurturing parent. Um, and so if you have your Chiron here, most of the time it manifests as a wound of rejection. Okay, you have a fear of being rejected. And when you were a child, maybe your parents just they did not accept you for who you are. They told you that they wanted you to be why can't you act like somebody else? Why can't you do why do you have to act this way? Why do you want to why would you want to be that? You should be this because it would make you more money or you would have more social status or what have you. And so it was like to that dominant parent, you were never good enough. Okay. It manifests as rejection and it also will manifest as not feeling good enough, not feeling like you amount to much. Um, and it starts in childhood. Is when all of this starts. Now the age just depends. It can be young or it could manifest a little later. When you're really young or when at older, maybe middle school or something like that. But it comes from not feeling your dominant parent making you feel like you weren't good enough. They rejected you. They did not they weren't encouraging, they weren't and supportive of you, when you had things at school, when you did things at school or what have you, they weren't supportive of that. And so that's the wound that you have to work on. If you have this here, it can show up as, if you're in sales, not feeling worthy, getting sales or, not knowing, not knowing your worth, when it comes to charging your prices, to making, how much things cost. If you're a coach or an entrepreneur and you build your own products or courses or things, and, you hear people like, oh, I just don't know how much to charge or this, that, then, and third. A lot of times it could be because they have a wound. Their Chiron is in this 10th house. All right. And then the last one will be second house. Um, okay. Hold on, let me get this. Okay. And last is the second house. Second house is the house the money house. Okay, it's your personal finances. It's also your material possessions, your personal material possessions, but it's also your self value and your self worth. And so when you have Chiron in this house, it manifests as most of the time it manifests as your self worth. Okay, you may be working on a job where um, you know you should be getting paid more money, but because you don't feel worthy of making more money, you stay on this job and you continue to make less than what you know you're worthy of. It also may manifest in when it comes to you, um, not just not just when it comes to a job, but like even in business, you may not even feel worthy to charge. You may not feel worthy to charge, and you may just it may be one of the things where you do just pay me what you feel I'm worth. You're looking for other people to validate your worth. And so that's something that it may manifest as well. Again, um, the sign on the house does have a lot to do um, with as well, um, depending on the sign that's on the house. But pretty much when it's in the second house, it's all about your self worth. Okay, and your self value. How much do you value yourself? You may not even value yourself enough. Like you may want to be an entrepreneur, and you know, um, like this particular chart here. Um, I'm looking at this chart, and you know, this person may not even feel like they are worthy of looking at it. They're an entrepreneur. Like I'm looking at, and I can see entrepreneur all over it, but they may not even feel like they're worthy to be an entrepreneur. They don't feel like, they have what it takes to be an entrepreneur, and that comes from that Chiron, you know, and they could be working a job that they really even like, but because of that Chiron rule, they won't step out and, do more for themselves. So that is what I have for you tonight. That is Chiron. Okay, Chiron is the wounded healer, and it definitely will stop you. It definitely will affect you from, um, increasing your money. And we talk about money block. You hear people talk about money blocks all the time, and the Chiron is a main money block. Okay, now if you don't have Chiron in one of those three houses, you can still have money blocks. Okay, you can still have money blocks. Okay, but if you have Chiron in one of those three houses, your blocks are deeper. Okay, because the Chiron wound is a much deeper ingrained wound than just somebody who just heard their parents say, "Oh, money is evil," or "money is the root of all evil," or "rich people are evil," or uh, the silly things that people said about money. Those can cause blocks as well. But having Chiron in one of those three houses makes your block even deeper. And so you have to work on that more intensively in order to clear it up. But the good thing about it is that once you identify what the block is, okay, once you identify what the wound is and you start to work on it, you start to heal it, then you are able to go and help others to heal theirs. And the more you can help others heal their Chiron, the more you will help to continuously heal yours because it's a never ending thing. Like you don't, it's not like a heal and then, oh, you're great. It's a continual heal. Okay. It's a continual heal. You're constantly always going to be working on healing your Chiron. So I hope you found value in tonight's broadcast. If you did, please do share it out so that others may find value as well. If you are watching on Facebook, also if you are watching this on YouTube, and you found value, go ahead and hit the like button and then subscribe and click the bell so that you get notified anytime I go live or upload a new video. And if you would like to book a career reading with me, you can email me at Katrice at the natalchartnavigator.com, or you can send me a DM here on Facebook. All the information is right here in the comments of the stream, so you can see how much the payment is, how to pay, and it is a 7-day turnaround. I have been getting, quite a few more bookings here lately, and so in order to provide the best, most comprehensive reading to everyone, it is now a 7-day turnaround. Alrighty, so I hope you guys have a great rest of your Saturday evening. I am going to go lay back down because, as you can see, I don't even sound all that great, and I probably don't look all that great either. So, you guys have a great one. I will talk to you later, and remember, possibilities are endless. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand, and that should make you smile.